morning, America. In recent events, 7 alleged gangsters was slaughtered in what people are calling the St. Valentine's massacre.
Take a seat, babe.
Hello, America. Today we'll be talking to the infamous Al Capone. Mr. Capone, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So, people have been saying you might have some connections to the Valentine's Day massacre. Thoughts?
I have no comment on what happened last night.
Alright, where were you on the night of the 14th, Mr. Capone?
I was with my cousin with some prostitutes.
Alright, Mr. Capone. So what are your thoughts on George Morgan?
Oh, Bugs?
Yeah, Bugs.
I think he's a bit of a rival of mine.
Does that have any connection to the Valentine's Day massacre?
No comment on that. I already told you.
Mr. Capone, we all know you're born in 1899, but when did you join the street life?
Well, first of all, I was born into a bit of poverty, and after dropping out of 6th grade, I became a member of the Johnny Torio's James Street Boys Gang.
6th grade?
Yeah, it was pretty early for me.
Wow. Alright, now that you're an adult, what are your relations to the gangs in Chicago?
Well, I run the streets of Chicago, and we deal with organized crime, bootlegging, prostitution.
You elaborate on the organized crime?
Well, I'm not going to name any names, but I can say that we got to make some people disappear sometimes.
Alright, now that we've had an interview with Mr. Capone, we have interviews with 6 out of the 7 people tragically murdered in the Valentine's Day massacre. Back to you, Jan.
Hey guys, it's Jan here, and we are with Peter and Frank Gussenberg. So we're gonna ask you guys a few questions. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
So, Peter, where were you born?
I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
And how many brothers do you have?
2, Frank and Henry.
So, when you were released from prison, when were you released from prison? I'm sorry.
I was released in 1926, and after that, I joined the North Side Gang.
So, Frank, I assume you were born in the same place as your brother?
Yes.
Were you a part of the Morin gang?
No comment.
Did you ever know Al Capone?
No comments.
Okay, next question. This one is for you both, I would assume. Did either of you participate in the infamous drive-by shooting on the Hawthorne Hotel?
Yes, I did. No comment.
No comment from you? You're a quiet one, I see. Okay, guys, it's Jan here again with another interview with Reinhard Schemmer. I believe that's pronounced correct?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Schemmer, what is your occupation?
I'm an optometrist.
So why and how are you involved with the gang?
Well, I was kind of obsessed with like how they functioned, and yeah, I'm really interested in how their company works.
Okay. So, Mr. Reinhardt, what is your deal with being an optometrist?
Well, my optometry business was failing, and I kind of idolized the gangsters, so I joined in with their business. But I never was close enough to the gang to be really involved with the crime.
Oh, so that is why you have a clean slate on your record.
Yes, sir.
I'm a woman. Okay, Jan here again with another interview. This is James Clark.
Hi,
So, Mr. Clark, when were you born?
I was born in 1902.
Okay. And what were you known as?
I was known as a Depression-era outlaw and a bank robber.
Okay. So what happened in prison?
I escaped, but then I was recaptured out in Hemand, India, after 2 days, where I remained for the rest of my life in prison.
You stayed out there for the rest of your life?
Yep.
So, when you were caught robbing the bank, is that the only reason you were in prison?
No, probably some other reasons, but I don't want to put that on the show.
Okay, that is acceptable. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Thank you.
This is Jan here with John May.
How's it going?
I'm doing well. So, John, were you a part of the gang?
No, I was not part of the gang. I was just a mechanic for some of the gang.
So, for those gang members, do you mind disclosing who they were?
No, I do not.
Okay, so for them, what did you do to their cars, or?
I just souped them up and fixed them when they needed it.
Okay, so why did you help these gang members out? Were you just in need of cash, or were you a friend of them, or a cousin or something?
I needed cash
Why did you need the cash?
because I was desperate.
Okay, thank you. Jan here, one more interview for you guys. I'm here with Albert Winshank.
Hi.
So, how do you know Morin and his gang?
Well, you see, I own a couple clubs, and every once in a while we sell some prostitutes.
So these prostitutes come in there, and that's where they do their business? The gang members do their business in there with the prostitutes?
Don't tell no one, because it's kind of illegal. But yeah.
So do they just come in there and only do business with prostitutes, or do they do business outside of that?
Business outside of that, but we're not going to talk about this. This interview's over. Alright, I got the cops on me. I gotta go. There are still no connections between Al Capone and his gang in the deaths of the 7 people, Peter and Frank Geisenberg, Albert Weinshank, Adam John Rager, and James Clark. The 4 police officers that were involved in the shooting were never found and are still believed to be part of Al Capone's gang. Don't say nothing though, that didn't come from me. Alright, thank you. In other news, there's a new restaurant becoming more and more popular called McDonald's. It's greasy food. Who knows if it become popular? I don't know.
Y'all should really try and go to McDonald's. It's gonna be pretty good, man.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America. Good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Okay.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America. So, Mr. Capone, we all know you're born in 1898 and 1909. But when did the street life start? Alright.
You gotta...
Now that we've got an exclusive interview with Mr. Capone.
Start over.
No. We're not starting over. We're keeping this.
Hey guys, it's Pam here. Wait, what's her name?
Jan.
Not with the GoPro.
Dude.
So Jan here with John May.
How's it going?
I'm doing well, how are you?
Good, you?
Has anyone seen... Has anyone seen my dad? It's been 15 years, Dad. Walmart lines aren't that big.